Hey guys, it's Kathleen. I am back with a Thrift With Me video. Today, I was estate sailing. I drove 45 minutes to hit up an estate sale because I have to go to a conference this weekend. So once again, I will not be yard sailing, sadly. However, all I will say is because it is the weekend after 4th of July, so far there is not one yard sale to be found in my area. So that does make it feel a little bit better. But I went into this estate sale and you know me in clothes, I'm going through the closet. I keep periodically finding stuff that's worth it. All of a sudden, this lady strips down to start trying on clothes. I have never had this happen to me before. I promise you my video is completely appropriate. However, this was absolutely a first. Here's the footage. Make sure you come on back for the haul. I love to pick up vintage Gemmy, but as you know, all Gemmy is not created equal. I was having trouble finding anything about this particular piece, but it looked to be in good condition, and so I did grab it. I want to say I paid $8 for it, and it turns out it works perfectly. But upon doing a deeper dive into the comps, it turns out it is from 2014 from Target. The rest of her Christmas was really blah, so this was the only Christmas piece I grabbed. And I was hoping that was Le Creuset, but no such luck. I do love to pick up some vintage toys, but all of these were super beat up. I did take a minute to look up the comps for a Zuzu pet that she had, not new and in the box or anything, and they just seemed to do very mediocre, so I left it behind. But I was super interested in these little mini casino games, and I ended up picking them up for $5 each. Let me know in the comments if you know anything about these. The best I could find with the comps was that they were like salesman versions of gaming tables, but I don't really feel like that is very accurate. So I would appreciate any information you can share. This caught my eye because it is Victoria's Secret Gold Label. However, that little ruffle thing, not only was it hanging off in one part, it was missing some of it because I could have sewed it, but I cannot create it. And so since it was missing a hunk of it, I ended up sticking it back.
I go with anything on it. That might go with it.
Oops, sorry.
A little tied in.
It is.
Where's Sue? I need to show her these.
Sorry for the up-close footage for this part, but this rack was way above my head. It's cute. It's hard to see from this angle, but this is a beautiful, kind of like a chunky knit, vintage Ralph Lauren cardigan sweater in a V-neck. And underneath it is a red like shell, but it matches the navy one that I had already put in my bag. So I just grabbed both of them. I'm thinking that the blue and the red I'm going to keep for me just because they fit me perfectly and they're just really cute. And then the sweater I'm going to list.
Different colors. The colors different. I like them colors.
This is a brand that is brand new to me, Elliott Lauren, but it had a really high retail value, and so I figured it was worth grabbing.
I like it. She took it out. Yep, she did. Oh, I gotta take it out. It's perfect. Praise the Lord. Has she done the rest of it? Yes, she has. I think she's at least $4.99 for them. Yeah, it's I'm gonna give you this. Okay. Put my blouse back on. Let me try this other one on.
Y'all, she was walking around the estate sale shirtless. I have never in my life seen anything like it. I did pause over this Soft Surroundings tank, but Soft Surroundings has just not been moving for me lately, and I wasn't sure if she was going to charge me $3 for it or what the deal was, so I left this behind. I do not pick up a lot of Chicos unless it is new without tags, or rather new with tags, but I thought this was a crepey silk jacket or shacket, but I misread the tag. So it is only the embroidery thread that is silk, but I still think this is probably going to go for around $24, $28.
This little black jacket. Look, which would you get for mom? Like this one or? Or the soft one.
I was definitely interested in this Sony Walkman, but I could not for the life of me get that cassette to come out, and I thought, yeah, I'm just not going to fool with it because otherwise I'll be dragging this thing home and then I'll end up breaking it trying to get the cassette tape out. What's this? It's all opened. She had a couple of really nice purses. This one here I thought was Brighton. It looked like it might be Brighton, but when I looked on the inside, I didn't see any markings that would indicate it was Brighton. But she also had a really nice vintage leather fossil, but she was asking $25 per purse, and so for reselling, that's just not enough meat on the bone for me. Hey guys, welcome back to the haul. That was one for the books. Never have I ever had somebody do that at an estate sale in any way, shape, or form. So, I don't know. I tried to preserve the identity of the person, but still give you an understanding for how weird that was to be standing there and somebody's just whoosh, whipping off clothes. Very bizarre, very bizarre. Anyway, this was the first day of that estate sale, and honestly, the prices weren't the worst ever for a first day of an estate sale, but some things were more than I would have liked to have paid. But all in all, I did get some decent pickups, and I spent only $82. And $1 of it was on soap for me because I use Dove and it's brand new and it's way more than 50 cents a bar. So that was a deal. Now, I picked up this Jimmy Christmas tree. He's an animated Christmas tree, obviously, like Jimmy does all that stuff. Well, he is in like new condition. In fact, he came with his batteries that he came with, and they still worked. Should have been my first red flag, right? Because that means this is not vintage Jimmy. I mean, you can kind of look at him to tell, but he is only from 2024 and he was sold in Target. But I still should be able to get $20 for him. He's so cute. And worst case scenario, you know, I will definitely end up with him in my classroom. But I am going to list him and try. So it took me a hot minute to find the magic button, but there it is. And look how cute. He spins and everything. So I don't know how that's going to work with me holding him. There you go. Oh, jeez. But how cute. How cute is that? I'll tell you, this is no easy feat. Let me turn him off. So stinking cute. He just bops and spins. My dog just went running out of the room. She was scared to death of this thing. So might be ending up in my classroom if this sucker doesn't sell by Christmas, but really cute pickup for $8. So a little bit more than I like to spend on an item that I'm going to flip for $20, but here we are. Okay, I grabbed her because look at her fabulous eyelashes. She was only $3 and clearly vintage. She does all the posable things. She's got a few stains. She was dragging her sleeves through something. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a cleanup, but she is fabulous. And she is stamped Japan. So I want to say she is from the 60s, and when I looked up online by doing an image search, it seems like she was made in the 60s for Lee Ward's department store. Probably not going to get much more than $20, but I loved all the things about her. Now she needs a little work on her hair, but hey, who among us, right? How cute is she for $3? These two items are two of my favorite pickups, and I really don't know what they're going to do, if anything, but I could not leave them behind. They were each $5, and I'll be honest with you, I thought they were going to be less, but they are these vintage Horseshoe Casino, which is a casino. I thought it was in Vegas, and there is one in Vegas. This one is in Mississippi. This, I think, is a blackjack table or poker table or something, but it comes with a complete mini deck of cards, all the chips for playing, I don't know, poker with your Barbie dolls, and then this little mini craps table. And look at this. I mean, right down to the doohickey that you use to scoop the dice back. And then little tiny dice. How cute is that? $5 each. I saw a larger version of this, not Horseshoe Casino, just a generic version that came on with legs. And like I said, it was bigger. So it was apparently a salesman version of what he was selling to the casinos. And it sold for $200. This is not going to go for $200 because this is just something like kitsch that you keep in your house. But how stinking cute is that? And listen, my husband and I like a casino. So I was tempted to keep them, but I'm not going to because we do not need this. That's all we need when the grandkids come around, right? Try cleaning up those little mini poker chips, not happening. So I think I should be able to get about $25 to $30 each. And I do think I'm gonna part them out. I don't think I'm gonna lot them up together. But how cute are they? Just adorable. I grabbed these and I know they have Sharpie on them, but Sharpie comes off really easy because they are brand spanking new. These are Williams-Sonoma Christmas scented hand lotion with matching hand soap. And this pair will go for like 20 bucks. Okay, all the rest of my items are clothing purchases for a change. These, I had never heard of this brand before. Elliot Lauren. In a teeny tiny size, right? But they were sold in a really bougie Birmingham department store called Gus Meyer. I think it's only in Birmingham. I don't know if it's like a national chain. For $145. How cute. These are totally my vibe. I love a black crepey skinny pant. However, I have bought myself at various estate sales about 4 pair of black pants lately. So they are for sure getting listed. Now, she had a ton of Chicos, and with one exception, I picked up only new with tags. Okay, so this was one of the ones new with tags. It is a size 1, so that's a medium, okay? So it originally retailed for 50 bucks, but that was back in the day, because this is a vintagey item, I think. I mean, it looks vintagey to me. I really don't know, to be honest with you. But it's a really pretty shirt. Look at the sleeves. This little cutout thingy on a bell sleeve. Super cute. And also, I don't know if you can really see it very well, but it has a keyhole neckline. And I low-key love those. I think I should be able to easily get $20 for that. That was $1. Or at least she told me all the clothing was $1. I don't quite know how this added up to 82. Yeah, that math is not mathing, so she charged me more than $1 for those shirts, but whatever, it is what it is. Then these two, okay, these are modal tank tops by Jockey. New, brand new, size medium. Y'all, they are so stinking soft. But I do not need more tank tops. So these are going to get listed. I think I should get at least $16 per tank top. Okay, she said she was not charging me $25 for this. This is in like new condition, but it's not. It's vintage. And it is this really neat bomber jacket called by Yukon Trail. Size extra large to large. Look at that. I'm thinking this is a woman's, but I don't know, to be honest with you. But you know that vintage stuff was always sized smaller, but it is in perfect condition. Like, it has a little schmutzy there. That's going to come right out. Look at the back. Just really nice. Even the extra buttons are still sewn in place. So I think I'm going to get $25 to $30 for that, and potentially even more. Okay. I got 2 of the same shirt in different colors, only because I'm a slave to Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren. I don't know what this is called, this like meshy stuff, but this is so stinking soft. This is a viscose like t-shirt, and then same shirt, different color. I was calling this royal blue, but I don't know if it's royal. It's kind of like a cross between royal and navy, but I think it's closer to navy. And then I grabbed this beautiful sweater, also by Ralph Lauren, and it was extra large because everything else was small and medium. But look at this really nice weave. It's like this, I don't know, kind of a loose knit sweater. I don't think it's anything spectacular fabric content wise. Nope, it's just cotton poly. But how pretty. And this is a V-neck button-up cardigan. So I am estimating that I should get between 30 and 40 for this. It's really hard for me to look up Ralph Lauren, because every time I do, it always brings up Ralph Lauren. And so I'll find something similar, and then it'll be a Ralph Lauren, not Ralph Lauren. And I feel like Ralph Lauren is kind of a notch below Ralph Lauren. And so I don't want to use that as comps. So I ended up not being able to find even a V-neck sweater that I could use as a comp. So I'm using something that is Ralph Lauren as a comp that has more of a scoop neck, but is still a cardigan, even though it's a different color. And I figured that is probably close to what I can expect to make when I flip this. All right, this is a reversible tank top. Oh shoot, is there a schmutzy on there? No, I can't tell. I think the creases are looking like stains, but it's brand new with the tags. And back in the day, this sold for $24.95. This is in a size large. I don't know why, you know, reversible. Okay, that doesn't mean that you can wear it inside out. That just means you can either wear it as a crew neck or as a V-neck. Now I got you, chicos. Super soft and stretchy. I don't know, is that Travelers? No. It's the Lexi tank. Okay, and then the last item is the only Chico's item that I picked up that was not new with the tags. It is super vintagey. It is Chico's design, and it is 100% silk. And look at the beautiful embroidery and some bedazzling in there. Are there sparkles? Well, there's some sparkly beadwork. Beautiful. And this beautiful olive crepey silk. Do you consider this a shacket? Oh, that's easily remedied. I think it's a shacket. Right? Wouldn't you say? Let me know in the comments how you would list this, as a shacket or just like, not an open cardigan, a button up. I don't know, but it's beautiful. And I feel like it's got fall colors on it, and it's gonna do well moving into the fall season. All right, guys, that's everything for this Thrift With Me video. As always, hit subscribe down below if you like thrifting content, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye, guys.